When analyzing what could have been done differently in regards to this space challenger tragedy, we have to take into account the social and political pressure that surrounded those involved. At the time of the space race, it was of huge importance as a symbolism that the US could in fact overthrow the Soviet Union and communism should the need arise. They could have had more systems in place for double checking, as well as requiring all staff to sign off on the project as a safety measure before allowing a launch. The issue is that the space race it was a space race and had to cut on many corners in order to save time and make it a race in order to beat the Chinese and the Russians to space. Roger had little choice in the matter, as he was mainly a pawn and a slave to circumstances. Should he have vetoed the project, he would have become public enemy number one to most of the citizens of the United States. Should he have given the go ahead, he risked the lives of a few to protect the common good of many. It was a moral dilemma to which he could not win, particularly factoring in politics within the job, which may have forced him to lose his job should he disagree with upper management, as well as the fact that due to his age and the specialties surrounding his job, it would have been difficult for him to find another job and, in fact, provide for his family. It is a tough balance being loyal to management, but also to yourself. I think I think any concerns need to be voiced to management with proper explanation and a plan. Instead of just going against management, simply ask for a test to prove or disprove your theory and allow the venue to be explored. Should they disagree, it is no longer your place to argue further, as the responsibility lies on their shoulders. One example may have been, in this case, they could have asked for a few days to test out the temperature conditions surrounding that particular union to see how it would react in colder temperatures. Should they have asked for a few days to test this out, perhaps management would have allowed it. Since there was no time frame regarding that, um, they, and at that moment, knew that it was a space race, and so could not continue on further. Um, NASA may have been able to avoid this disaster through these mini venues, but it is impossible to tell and terrible to deal with in what if and could haves. So I propose that we learn from this instead, and we find a better way so that it does not happen again. By continuing to explore those time frames and dealing with solutions instead of what ifs, we may be able to prevent the next space adventure failure.